All right.
Mics are hot. We're recording. We're not live, but we are recording.
Okay,
So
cool.
you could count yourself in.
Oh, yeah, and then we'll just edit it or
And
whatever?
we'll cut it out.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Sure.
Thank you, man.
What's good? Welcome to Thursday Therapies, where we're here to let it all out. Let that shit out. Get it off your mind. Put your mind at ease here at Thursday Therapies. I'm here with Nolan, no last name. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing really, really, really good. I just want to do a quick check-in on you. On a scale from 1 to 10, are you 1, 10, maybe in between somewhere?
Today?
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling like a 10, man. I got up nice and early, handled some business, did some music. Now I'm out here with you.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. We're here at CSSB here in
CSSB.
Sacramento. Yep, Sacramento, California. So this is a new podcast, and I wanted to open this space up for a lot of the creatives here in Sacramento. There's a lot going on the scene, on the poetry scene, on the music scene, and I really want to just check in with everybody and see where their mind is, what their mental is. So I really just wanted to ask you a couple questions about your mental health and what it is you're doing during these tough times, self-care wise.
Self-care wise, let's see. The first obvious one is writing. I'll go back to writing in a second, but I've been focusing on the importance of breathing and what I do with my breath when things do get a little tense. It really does calm the body down, slows the heart rate. Let's see, meditation for sure. Also just taking some time for myself to do whatever I feel like doing in the moment. It's kind of like letting a dog's leash go, kind of in a free space we can just run around, you know?
Right.
Like if that's like talking to myself about some random stuff, or screaming if I need to, going for a walk, climbing a tree, just doing some whatever random thing I need to do.
That's dope. Just being in the moment, kind of like bring it back to the basics, back as a child. Like,
Absolutely.
You really didn't have too many worries. You just kind of lived in the moment and did whatever your mind, so it's like, hey, I feel like climbing a tree today. Let's go climb a tree. That's dope. That's really cool. So you're really in tune with yourself and knowing that you need to check out sometimes. And,
Absolutely.
Just be in the present and do whatever, comes to heal your mind.
Taking a break from all that and just focus on this.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's pretty dope. I like that. I like that a lot. What other coping skills do you use?
Well, back to writing, of course. Just write my thoughts out. Sometimes I've gotten used to writing not for the sake of sharing it, or like, oh, this one I'm going to perform it. It's got to sound good to people. Like, now let me just get my stuff down. It's going to sound the way my thoughts come to me when they first come to me. Unedited, nothing. And then the ones that I do have that are performance pieces, or if there's like some poems that I write that are empowering or just kind of rebuild that confidence, even if it's like a love poem or a sad poem, if I'm able to do it in a certain way, in a certain voice, sometimes that can just be so freeing. It's like going on a roller coaster, or it's like doing a sport, kind of. It's like playing a game or something. It's, getting that energy out and kind of just performing for myself to release that energy in that way.
How do you prepare? Do you perform like looking at yourself in a mirror?
Oh yeah, that's one big one, so I can see what I'm doing with my hands, so I can see my body language, my nervous body language. Like, what do we all have these natural things that we do when we're nervous, and I can see that. And, okay, so instead of doing that, let me do this. Let me do this with my hands during this part of the poem, so I can exaggerate whatever I'm talking about. Preparation, I'll say it in the car to myself, try to memorize it. If there's one I'm trying to memorize, I haven't memorized it yet, I'll just spend probably about a week saying it over and over and over again. I'm driving, I'm just walking to class, whatever.
So is that really therapeutic to you?
Therapeutic, I suppose so. It keeps my mind going, keeps my guard up in a way. Which may not sound very therapeutic, but it feels good.
It does feel good, though. I
work.
believe it's therapeutic because I do the same thing, because a lot of my downtime and a lot of the time where I really reflect is in the car, singing to other people's music, sometimes to my own, trying to recite things and to really just, stay in tune with what I have going on.
It's therapeutic for sure, especially depending on what the subject matter is. I recently wrote a poem called Worth It, and I've been practicing that one to memorize it for maybe the past week or so, and I've noticed the shift in my energy being a little bit bigger in large crowds, large settings, because usually the social anxiety keeps that from happening, but lately I think reciting that poem has expanded my energy a little bit during this season.
That's awesome. Speaking of anxiety, anxiety is like very heightened right now in these times that we have today. You do find it therapeutic to be able to express yourself out there in the scene, because that's what I've been using lately, is reciting poems and getting out there in the poetry scene and reciting this stuff. Does it really help your anxiety? Has it helped your anxiety?
It has, in the way that like when I'm up there, like, yeah, you know, you still get stage fright. At least I do a little bit. But when I'm up there, it's just letting out this energy that I feel like I keep stored. As a more of an introverted person, I keep my energy stored, and I really believe in protecting my energy, because our energy isn't always going to be accepted by everyone. And if we're putting ourselves in situations where our energy isn't accepted by the people that's around us, that could really just kind of fuck with us. So I believe in protecting my energy, storing it, and then when I perform, it's like, I don't care what y'all think about my energy. This is me. This is my moment. This is my time.
Right.
And I'm perform. And as far as after the performance and for the therapeutic aspect of it, when I do doubt myself, when I am feeling anxiety and questioning the future, I think about the times where I feel like I've been successful. I think about times where I feel happy and satisfied with myself, which is performing.
That's dope, because I think you're like such a natural. Every time I see you up there on the stage, I'm like, yes, he's an absolute natural. I don't see any type of anxiety or anything. I'm like, this guy is really dope, and he's on his way. I love watching you in performing, and I loved watching you at the Cypher. I see you broadening your horizons and doing other scenes. Where are you going from here?
From here, you know, I think we all have an idea of like where we want this to take us, but I mean, having that idea and chasing it is honestly what's kept me going, kept me where I am now. Even when things get hard, it's just like, hey, you have this to work towards. So, you know, let's take our moment. If we're feeling down, if we're feeling weakness right now, let's take our moment and heal. But at the end of the day, you got this to do, so you have that to look forward to in your future. You can look forward to making that for yourself. But as far as like my next moves and what I'm trying to do right now, I think I'm just trying to see where this person that I've been making myself into is going to take me.
Right, yeah. Creating, I see you going big places. I really do see you going big places.
Thank you.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm just recording as much music as I can, and then eventually I'm just going to look at all of it. What's a common theme here? What kind of compilation can we make out of this? Yeah, I could just drop a just collection of them, an EP or something, but I was going to release a musical album, but even some poetry in there too. What is the common theme here? What body of work could I put this under?
Yeah, that's dope. So what got you starting poetry and music?
Music has just always been a huge part of my life. I would say like the two earliest ones from back when I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old is my dad showing me the Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean performances and music videos. He did the moonwalk first time, crowd goes crazy. It's like, oh shit. Like,
right,
to me, it was like,
dope.
That's how they felt when they saw Jesus for the first time, like walking on water and shit. Like, and then probably secondly, my mother teaching me like the very basics of piano when I was like 4 years old. Hated it. She could barely get me to stand still. But at some point around middle school, I started teaching myself piano, got obsessed with songs. I've always been obsessed with music, but, you know, at a certain point, I needed to be able to play it as well, because I wanted to interact with it. I wanted it to be mine. I wanted to feel like it was mine. So yeah, I started playing on piano. I started wanting to make beats. So what I learned from music theory and piano, making beats, started writing, started rapping. Certain artists, I saw what they were doing with hip hop, because hip hop was always banned from my house. But feeling a certain way at a very young age, I felt like I needed something that understood me. And I found that in hip hop, a lot of people going through their stuff, not able to handle their, what's going on, having to write it down because of what's going on in real life is so intense. And it comes through their music. They have a hopeful message. Some of them do, not all, but some of them do. And the ones that did inspired me a lot.
That's dope, yeah, because that's how I found myself. I listen to so much music. It doesn't matter. I love all music, every genre of music. And it's gotten me through a lot of tough times. It's getting me through a lot of tough times today. Who's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist? Oh man, that's hard. That is hard.
It is hard because there's so many dope artists out, you know, and then you're learning new artists today, and there's a lot of local artists that are so dope too.
Oh, Lord God. Okay. If you asked me when I was like 5 to maybe like 13, I would say Michael Jackson, hands down, every single time.
Michael Jackson is dope.
If you asked me like 14 to probably like 18, 19, I'd say J. Cole every time because he's who introduced me to hip hop. And now, I don't really know. I'm kind of getting more. I mean, like as you can tell from how I, from the beginning of what I told you, the more mainstream artists is what I was introduced to, and now as I interact more with the Sacramento musical scene, and I see like this is where I should have my ears to.
A lot of underground. There's a lot of underground local artists that are really up and coming and just so dope.
So as far as local artists go, man, I love seeing Star Reloaded do her thing. I love seeing you perform.
Star's dope, yeah.
I love our brothers and sisters in the community. Even Diamond, the other day, I hadn't seen her perform in a minute, but she killed it. I was sitting there
at the
like,
Words for Winter event.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I wish I could do that. Winter, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot in the Sac Poets group as a whole. That what they're doing right now. So like as artists in this community, in a sense, running a business and doing what they do for the community with that business or with that title, with that club, I love them. I love what they do.
It's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm so new to the scene myself, so I'm just learning all about all these new poets, up and coming poets, and it's been a blessing. It really has been therapeutic, a blessing, amazing, life changing. Do you feel that it's life changing?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. At the time when I discovered the Sacramento poetry community, I was in Sacramento because some stuff in my school I got messed up, stopped getting paid for, so I just had to come back home.
Make a move.
I just had to make a move. It was unexpected. I had to lie to a lot of my family about it. I was feeling lost, I was feeling defeated, but the thing about where I went to school at, I would perform there, I would open for bigger artists, and I was missing that. So I just needed the outlet, the creative outlet. So I actually called Patrick of the Sacramento Poetry Center. Shout out Patrick. Called him up. I just found his number on a billboard, and I asked him, like, you guys have open mics here? Can I come through? What if I'm mostly rap. Is it okay if I it's okay if I do that? He's like, yeah, man, just come Monday night. And since then I met Joe at Sac Poetry Center. She told me about CSSB, came here during spring break for the first time, and been coming here ever since. Met Star, met Coon the Poet, met Winter, found out about Self Design Art Gallery. Shout out Self.
Shout out Self, yes. That's such another great inspiration over there also. So with all this therapy and therapeutic, I just want to ask you, if it's too personal, you could say I refuse or whatever, but how do you go to therapy on the outside for counseling, or do you participate in any other therapy groups outside of your own personal self-care and, of course, your writing and stuff like that?
Let's see. It was like right before I had to move out of school last semester because of the tuition stuff. So that must have been, that was October. That might have been like October 3rd or 4th, man. Because everything that was going on, I can't never forget these days. That chaotic ass time. I went to therapy for the first time. Not for the first time my whole life. When I was younger, there's a lot of stuff going on with the family, so the courts would make my parents make me and my brother go to therapy and stuff.
Right.
And that was a bad experience. But as an adult, I rediscovered therapy just last October. Went there. That first therapist, she kind of sucked. Not gonna lie, some therapists sometimes just leave you with your guts out, and they'll just end the session right there after you just exposed every. But since then, came back to Sac, did therapy all through fall. Went back to Merced, been doing therapy all last spring. Still doing therapy now over the phone. When I'm at my therapist in Merced, came back here, she still meets with me over the phone. Right.
It's an amazing thing. How do you feel about it? now that you're an adult. I know as a child, because I had to go also as a child for many different reasons, you
Right.
know, life issues, family issues, dysfunction.
Right.
But I feel like that's made me a lot stronger to be able, you know, it's always been an outlet for me because, you know, a lot of people bottle their shit in and it festers and it creates sicknesses in the body and in the
Absolutely.
mind. So how do you feel that therapy is working for you?
I feel like it's helping me. My therapist says I shouldn't think in this way, but for lack of better words, it's helping me not be the person I don't want to be, and I guess better words, it's helping me be the person I knew I could be. It's it's a process. It's happening slow. But the improvement, even just being in the poetry community and being the kind of person that I'm able to be for this family, makes me have faith in the work that I've been doing in therapy. Also, she opens me up to ideas. My therapist opens me up to ideas that I probably wouldn't have came to myself, but I understand them, and it comes through in my work. Some of my work sometimes is inspired directly by conversations I have with her, and I'm like, how do I apply it to myself? I realize I see it in my friends and my peers and my community, and then make a poem about it, and it speaks to someone, and it's like, yeah, this is the right thing. This is right.
You're right where you need to be, for sure.
Exactly.
So you think therapy is a great outlet for you?
I think it
to be
is.
able to be vulnerable and open up and be your true, authentic self.
That for one, because that's kind of rare, but what I've gotten from it the most is that I can learn a little bit more about myself and human behavior.
Right, with a non-judgmental outlet, you know, because so many people are telling us what to do and how to do it and when to do it that we really don't even get to, you know, your mind's so all over the place, and that's what causes stress, anxiety, mental health issues, you know. So being able to have that non-judgmental safe space to be able to express how you're feeling and go over real deep shit, you know, because we all have life issues, and, you know, a lot of us bottle it in, you know. We bottle it in, and it comes out in negative ways. So I really commend you for, taking initiative. That's a very huge form of self-care and taking care of yourself and your mental. I love that about you.
Thank you.
You know, and I do hear it in your poetry sometimes, you know, and just with meeting with you. I think it's dope. I think everybody should see a therapist at some point, you know, and be able to express what they're feeling. And I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, I thank you for things like this, and also being a part of that conversation in the poetry community. You talk about mental health and overcoming things. I know some of your poetry is about like protecting women and about things that you've gone through personally, and that's important.
In poverty, that poem Winter was going over on Saturday.
Yeah, shout out
Poverty is
Winter.
just like shout out Winter. There's so much life issues going on, and you know, we have to evolve from that. At the same time, we are still trying to navigate on a daily basis what it is we need to do. So this is what Thursday Therapies is about. I'm not, you know, a therapist, but I just want to open up this safe space for creatives, people who are willing to take the initiative and focus on themselves for a minute, you know, focus on what you've got going on, focus on your mental health, and focus on, what you're creating, and pat yourself on the back for it, because you fucking came a long way, you know, and we all should be heard. We all should, you know, have a safe space. We all should be able to express what we're feeling. And at the same time, you know, there's so much pressure on us that sometimes we let it get the best of us, you know, and then we get in our head, and then, you know, we're left out there with, you know, making some fucked up choices. So I really just want to commend you for, you know, taking that out and knowing that that's an outlet and it's a safe space for you to be able to go and talk to somebody, because you really can't trust too many people out here in this world, you know.
I know.
It's very difficult, especially, you know, you're being put through so much shit, and especially even at home, it's just like you think it's a safe space, but, you know, home's not always the safest space.
No.
So
No.
yeah, that's a tough subject for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
enough about the therapy. Let's get something, you know, that's a little heavy situation, heavy scene. Do you want to share a little something, or do you want to let everybody know what it is you're working on, if you got getting ready to drop something?
Okay. Let's see now. What do we got? We always got so many events coming up.
Yes, events coming up.
Okay. Look out for Sac Poets. I know Al and Rye have a performance coming up, a show coming up on September 21st, I believe.
Yeah.
In Merced, I don't know how many of y'all are trying to go all the way out there, but we got a Wildin' Out parody this Wednesday. If anybody want to come to that, we got games.
Where is it gonna be at?
It's a classroom building 120 on UC Merced campus. Anybody in Sacramento, anybody at UC Merced watching this can come through. That's what we got going on. This is hosted by the African Student Union, which I'm a board member of.
Yep.
And then, Star Reloaded at Self-Design Art Gallery this Thursday will be hosting open mics, and she'll be doing that every Thursday. So
Dope.
Come through.
Dope. Will you be there?
This Thursday? Nah, I got class.
You're going back to school, so.
Going back to school tonight after. Nah, you're not gonna see that.
It's okay. You can still share. It's all right. We'll still load it. We can share it. We can edit.
Well, what I was gonna say is Sacramento Poetry Center open mic tonight, but this is probably not gonna go up by then.
Oh no.
But October 28th, he's gonna be mad that I announced it without him. Me and Patrick are doing a collaboration feature at Sacramento Poetry Center, October 28th, 7:00. Save the date.
Save the date. We will be there.
Music and poetry.
Is there anything else you want to share, or you just want to put out there?
I would love to share a poem with you guys.
Yes, I would love to hear your poems.
Yeah.
Dope. We are here with Nolan. No last name is his poetry name. He is a very dope poet and artist all the way around.
Thank you. We're here with J.DIDIT.
Yes.
Musician, writer, rapper, poet.
Jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm. Mother, podcast host. All right. So this poem right here, as mentioned earlier, is called Worth It. It's the one I've been going over and over in my head like for the past 8-7 days.
What was the inspiration?
Okay.
On this.
There's a couple of things. Okay. So a little while earlier this year, I'm going through a lot. Some crazy shit happened, and in the process of processing it, crazy. I wrote. This would be the fourth poem. The first poem was called Family Tree. Second poem was called Check for Me. The third poem was Try and Try.
Dope poems, all dope, so dope.
And then we got here to Worth It. Now, Family Tree is a poem I would probably never share. That one's for me. Check for Me is a poem that I've been not sure about sharing, but I have shared it once here.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
It's dope.
It's heavy.
Very.
It's heavy.
But it hit my heart.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a decision to share that one. And then we got Try and Try, which kind of focuses in more on what was going on in my head during that moment. And then we got Worth It. The idea for this one, it wasn't even meant to be like Family Tree starts off where I'm just like in this hole, barely able to process what happened. Check for Me is like I'm processing what happened. Try and Try is like I'm accepting what the confusion and what I was feeling. And then Worth It is I remember I was talking to somebody and she spoke about the poetry that she would write was meant to encourage her, meant to give her confidence that she didn't get from other people. Other people haven't showed her the kind of love that she deserves, so she would write to herself.
Right.
And that's what her poetry was inspired by. And it's just like, what if I help myself with that a little bit? So I wrote Worth It, and it started off just being for me, and then I heard how many people connected with Try and Try, so I was like, let me make this for us.
Yes, so let's hear it.
So yeah,
No last name.
This poem is called Worth It. It's for any of us that need words of encouragement. Someone to show us we're more than just fine since we haven't heard it yet. Because when the day is long and the earth's gravity is intensified by the shoulder's burden, an affirmation goes a long way to affirm the journey made was worth it. Because isn't credit due where it's deserved? And not for the sake of validation earning or assurance that our portrait of traits makes a perfect person, but for the fact of faculties of phrases that can alter the brain, such as you are saved, your strength increased every single day, I love you unconditionally, will you sing to me? Your voice is Raphael's melody. And they're really missing out if they're closing their ears to your lively sound, leaving a requisite for peers that provide soulful nourishment to be left around. But go ahead, poet, write until you're left without a doubt. This is the time and place, so let us never be ashamed when we write loud and betray our sense of self-sacrificing passionate highs for a crowd. Teach the kids it's okay, we are proud, instead of practicing how to evade the ways they stand out. Cause somewhere there's a flower that's seen the sun but hasn't had a confidant to pour back into them for a while. And some have even tried to knock them down. But fortunately, the roots run as deep as a non-negotiable belief. The enemy tries to silence you now because your truth has power to tear deception down. Every flower under the sun needs some words of encouragement. Go ahead and show them they're more than just fine. Guaranteed they haven't heard it yet. You're as brave as what they won't say. My time plus your company to me will always equal a fair trade. Matter of fact, you deserve a safe space. You deserve the peace and more than bare necessities to seize the season. See ideas become movements that communities can believe in. And while we're at it, let me just add that you are so creative. Never let those few make it strange. And if it all wears down on you on some days and you can't keep it from your face, just know growing up can make pain pour like rain. And as your eyes drain the bitterness, imagine it's your body's message, as if to say there is understanding beneath the soreness. So trust this moment in stride, and at your pace regain your faith. This is an affirmation to you, the ones who came and whoever's on their way, being told that they don't have purpose. Today was long, but I'm letting you know you are worth it.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
You always make my heart flutter. It's so good and deep and
Thank
deep,
you.
and I feel it, and I do feel it. Like, that is a beautiful affirmation,
Thank you. It's for you. It's
Because
for all of us.
we don't tell ourselves that enough.
Mm-hmm.
We do not. The world kicks us fucking down, and we end up believing it,
We end up believing it,
And
yes.
so many people are stuck in that mindset right now that, they gotta hustle, they gotta do this, they gotta do that,
Mhm.
they gotta show and prove, they gotta do so much more,
Yeah.
But just for today, one day, every day you wake up is a blessing, and
Mhm.
you are worth it. So,
You are worth
people
it.
really just gotta know that, I'm gonna do my best today, and it's gonna be worth it. Some days we have days where we just are like, fuck it, today, I don't wanna do anything today. But it's still worth it.
That is
because you
absolutely.
have to put your body at ease, and
You have to rest.
have a rest day.
Right.
We're
to
not
let your
fucking
guard down.
robots to fucking continue to
Mhm.
keep going.
It's understanding
Um,
beneath the soreness.
Every day is
Allow
worth
yourself
it.
to cry.
So don't get hard on yourself,
Mhm.
each day, and just continue to pick yourself back up each day, because it is worth it. That's a beautiful poem. That is a beautiful poem, and I love it, and I would love to hear you perform it more and more and more.
Thank you.
Well, that's the rest of the questions that I have. Do you have anything else you want to share? I really just wanted to get this up and going, and
Yeah.
try to get in contact with you before you leave.
Yeah, I
You're
know,
ditching
I know.
us to go back to school. But no, I think it's dope. You got to go back to what you know, and I could see you doing big things. You're
Thank
really
you.
going to be doing big things in the future, near future. I
Near
believe
future.
it.
Thank
I
you,
believe it
thank you.
100%. So where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me at Type Love on Instagram. Type Love is what I go by when I perform music. In Merced, I'm gonna be going by that a lot because I
Type
mostly
Love.
do music out there.
Type Love on Instagram.
Type Love on Instagram.
Okay, so
No last name's my poetry name. Type Love the music name.
Type Love on all platforms.
On Instagram, yeah.
Just on Instagram.
Just on Instagram for now, yeah.
You're not on anything else?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So, all right. Well, that's it for Thursday Therapies here with J.DIDIT and no last name, Type Love.
Mhm. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Peace. All right, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that was, I gotta get you back for another one though.
Oh, yeah.
That was fast. I don't know how long that took. Probably about 30 minutes maybe. Was it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you guys were so loud I couldn't even fucking record.
Good thing they got directional mics in there that cost all that money.
That was a pretty quick one, huh?